turn now to the Sheriff of Pima County, Clarence Dupnik. Sheriff Dupnik, thanks again for your time tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
Can you fill us in to any degree on what happened at the Lochner's home today, this report of a barricade of some kind?
I don't have any information regarding what happened there.
The evidence stage of this and finding that is now in the hands of other enforcement agencies, is that correct?
Not entirely. We're still working hand in glove with the FBI on this case.
So would you know anything about these other specifics that were reported about this skull replica or this bizarre scene in the backyard?
I've spent all my day dealing with the media as I did yesterday, so I really haven't had an opportunity today to get into that kind of detail.
Well, we apologize for that. There's a picture of that backyard scene, and it's grotesque, of course, and we'll move on to the sort of background to this. Do you have any picture at this point about what drove this suspect, whether it's politically in general or specifically towards Congresswoman Giffords as his target?
Well, if I could just preface my remarks with the fact that this is a very, very troubled individual. Mm-hmm. His behavior in the recent past has been very bizarre and somewhat threatening. There's a lot of evidence that indicates that he planned this attack. He bought the weapon with the intent to assassinate Congresswoman Giffords. To my knowledge, there was no reasonable reason that anybody could come up with that would give him a motive to do that. Mm-hmm. We're talking about a very troubled individual, and that's one of the things that concerns me and a lot of other people, that when you're talking with about a person who is unstable to begin with, and they are motivated in some cases by the rhetoric that they hear and they see. And in general terms, that's why I say that I think that people who make a living preaching hate, to hate the government, to be angry at the government, to destroy the government, to do it to politicians, elected officials, and so forth, have some responsibility. Even though it may be free speech, mm-hmm. I don't think free speech goes without some responsibility and some consequences.
As you put it so eloquently on that tragic Saturday night, can you share, I mean, the response to what you said in many quarters was to describe you as a hero in this country. In other quarters, Senator Kyle, the congressman from Arizona, Trent Franks, said you were politicizing this event. I know in advance that the answer to your question about whether or not you were politicizing it would be no, you were not. But explain the distinction between what you were trying to say and politicizing.
What I am trying to say is that it's time. I think maybe even a majority of people in this country feel that government is broken, that politics at the Washington level is broken. And they're very, very angry about it. And they're tired of all the crap that goes on where people can't sit down and act in a fashion that's in the best interests of the American people. Political ideology aside, I think when it comes to what's in the best interests of the people of America, politicians have a responsibility to do that. And anybody with half a brain that's been watching what's been going on for the last 2 years knows that just the opposite is happening. And it's my feeling that the anger that is being purveyed by people in radio and some people on TV is done deliberately because it benefits one particular party.
As a sheriff, is it part of your job and part of your responsibility to assess a cultural environment that might increase the chances of injury and danger to your citizens?
I think that I have a legal responsibility to do that.
Perfectly said, I think, sir. Sheriff Clarence Dupnik of Pima County, Arizona, thank you belatedly for the extraordinary and extraordinarily detailed comments that you made on Saturday, and thank you kindly for your time this evening.
Thanks for inviting me.